people have been posting their own versions of these games that are played in Squid Game on TikTok and challenging other users to actually copy them. And some of these videos have gone viral. It's literally got so bad that primary and elementary schools around the world have been sending emails and letters to parents saying, please, please check your parental control settings on your devices, talk to your kids, check what they're accessing on social media.
So it's okay for Koreans to make a show that's entirely Korean with like one non-Korean person in the show, but it's not okay for white people to make a show that's just got white actors?
Yes, correct. Would you like me to re-clarify?
Yes, I mean, explain this to me, man, because I'm like, you
know what I think it is? I think it's and this is partially because of like academia and you got celebrities encouraging this nonsense, but I think it's this sort of obsession with living in the past, and a lot of Black Americans specifically are so infatuated with trying to right the wrongs of slavery. You can't. You weren't born. You didn't exist. Nobody you knew existed back then. So I find it so non-productive to live in the past. But because of that, I think, and this is the argument that I would hear a lot when people were justifying looting and rioting during the peaceful protests of 2020, people would say, I would say, well, why are you looting this? Well, what does this have to do about police brutality? Oh, well, 400 years of oppression and slavery, like they'll give me a history lesson. And I'm like, that has nothing to do with this.
In capitalism, we recognize not everybody is equal. Not everybody does have an equal chance. We do want equal opportunity, but some people are poor and some people are rich. In this system, everyone is wearing the same clothes in the same room, being brutalized by the powers that ultimately results in one person having all the wealth and everyone dying. That is not capitalism. In capitalism, there's too much food. People are morbidly obese, and there are homeless people who are fat. In communism, everybody wears the same clothes. They have limited access to anything. They get garbage food every day. They're like, okay, the game's over. Here's the food you get, and they get trash.
Triangles that point up, they represent a strong foundation, stability, because the large base is grounded, and it ascends, literally ascending to the heaven, going upwards. So the elements of fire and air, which are masculine elements, are symbolized with triangles looking up. And when it comes to the point down triangle, the meaning is related to the descent into the physical world. And this is related to the female energy. So the two elements of water and earth have these symbols. When we take a point up and a point down triangle, and that's where it gets interesting, when we pair them together, we get the representation of sexual union and the principle of harmony. This is when a person has united their inner divine masculine and their inner divine feminine qualities.
The figures and all the elements of the series seek to recreate the environment of children's games and their basic and simple rules, but they also give an air of mystery to everything and show that there are hidden meanings everywhere.
Ultimately, Squid Game was one of the most surprising things to come out of 2021 for me. It's a show with flaws, to be sure, but whatever its shortcomings, it kept me more entertained than basically anything else I've seen so far this year. Compared to the stale, formulaic, preachy sludge being shat out by Western studios, a show that focuses on great writing and strong characters feels like an absolute breath of fresh air. Which is kind of sad when I think about it. But even sadder is that I just know it's going to become a victim of its own success, and that Hollywood will inevitably try to copy it with some shitty remake that has absolutely none of the charm, intelligence, or creativity of the original.
These very different strangers will face off in a series of children's games for a shot at 45 billion Korean won, which works out to, let's see here, carry the one, divided by rotation of the earth, about 3 Lindsay Lohan furry NFTs. But for the losers, there's a different kind of prize. Starring. I'm from Seoul, but I'm not a soldier. Oh, that's Cho Sang-woo. He went to college at SMU for business. Smart guy. A literal old boy. Assistant to the regional manager. Sadness Everdeen, Never Squid with Crazy, and Sensitive Thugs, Y'all Need Hugs. The Bummer Olympics.